welcome to week 3. I'm Professor Waters. I do apologize that I have not had the opportunity to upload a video. I was having some technical difficulties. I do want to let you know, though, I am in the process of reading all of your reading assignments currently, and I'm editing them. Please be mindful that it does take me some time to go through because I am editing and commenting on each one of your assignments. Please take the time to read through those comments. That is what helps us move to the next level of our writing and things to be mindful of. Speaking of that, I do want to point out a couple things in order to think about while we are completing these writing assignments. First, please know that you are fluent in the English language, and you have either heard it or spoke it, or many of you have either heard it or spoke it since the day you were born. Be confident in what you already know. So if it doesn't look or sound correct, then you probably need to go back and edit on that. Another thing is editing. It is so important. The best writers are the best editors and can look at their writing critically in order to improve it. There is no such thing as a perfect first draft, and so I'm going to ask you guys to please take time to, before you submit any assignments, read over it to make sure that there is no spelling errors, as well as formatting issues or anything like that. I will tell you there's 3 main editing tools that I use, and they are that I have been teaching my kids for years. The first one is as you're writing or when you're finished, get up, go get a cup of coffee or get something to drink, come back and read over it again. A lot of times this will present some errors to you because you're now looking at it fresh eyes. If you just continue to look at the screen, our brains are phenomenal and we have a tendency to self-correct. So please make sure, just get up for a little bit, go outside, get some fresh air, and come back to it. The second one, which to me is probably one of the most important ones, is read it exactly the way that you have written it. If you did not put a period, do not stop. If you didn't put a comma, do not pause, and the vice versa. If you do have a period, stop. If you do have a comma, pause. I promise you this picks up about 80 to 90% of your errors. So please make sure that you're doing that. The next one is have someone else read it, or read it to someone else exactly the way that you've read it. If you have to pause, read over something a couple times, then that's probably something that you need to rework. Remember that your writing represents who you are, and it is the basic form of communication. And please remember that with writing, if someone has read what you have written and you've either confused them or they do not understand, then you are not successful in that writing attempt. And so please always keep that in mind as we are communicating. I'm going to ask you to change your perspective on this. This is not just a skill that is just going to be for English 112. This is a skill that's going to take you through the rest of your college career and transcend it into your professional career, and how we look at it, the voice that we use. So I would like for you to, as you are approaching and embarking on each one of these writing assignments, think about how you are presenting yourself through your writing. Does it do you credit? Please do not look at it as I'm just going to get it out there and I'm going to get full credit. That is not a successful way of thinking, and unfortunately it will affect you and affect your grades. So if you have any questions, especially as you're reading my edits, please do not hesitate to email me. I'd be more than happy to go through any of the edits with you. Now, our first writing assignment was either choosing an advertisement or getting some statistics. Part of that is when you're looking at information, how is it speaking to you, how is it communicating to you, what are you taking from it, and then, which happens to be a very difficult thing for most people, is to give an opinion upon whatever it is that you are reading. This is core to research, and as we're beginning this process of choosing a topic, getting resources, part of this research paper, yes, is about researching the topic, but a major component is once you have received all that information, what are you bringing to the table? How did this information speak to you? And what are you taking from it? So it's important that when we're going through these smaller exercises, what it is an exercise of you giving opinion in an academic manner. Please keep your comments to an academic manner. And we have a tendency to get emotional, and I'm not saying that passion should not play a role, but remember that everything that you say, any comment or opinion that you have, has to be grounded in information. On your research paper this past week, you are to be giving me your topic, your 6 resources, as well as questions. Your topic, hopefully you are engaged with that topic. The 6 sources were to be 3 internet, and 3 print. And I do that purposely because not all research is going to be offline, and you do need to know how to utilize your resources. Our library is absolutely fantastic, and they have many resources that you are able to go to, especially peer-edited articles, which are considered print. As you are doing the research, depending upon what your topic is, remember that if the original format for that information is in a print format, either a book or a magazine or article or whatnot, then it is considered print. Because as many times on the internet you'll see where something has been scanned in, but if the original document was a print source, then it is considered print. Usually your internet is going to be the .coms, .edus, and that kind of thing. So that's how we differentiate. What I'm also looking for, you were asking the questions, and that was the first thing. This helps to direct your research, and this is very important. This is an important component on how to work smart. Throughout your college career and even in your business career, there are going to be times where you're going to have to do some research, and it can be very overwhelming. By brainstorming questions about your topic without prejudging what you're putting down, you are actually giving some direction to your research when you get into looking at that information. So take that time. Like I said, do not prejudge. Do not correct spelling when you're going through that. Now, when you write the questions down, hopefully you did go back through and edit to make sure that it was spelled correctly. But as you're going through that process, you don't want anything to really get in the way of your that flow of information. But what you'll notice is now that the questions are done, now you're going to go in and you are going to look at your sources. These first few steps are so critical to a successful paper, because if you are looking at your resources and they are not substantial, then you need to look at maybe making a topic change. And this is where I call this the get out of jail free card. As you are doing this week and you're going through this information, is it substantial? Do all of your sources bring something different to the table? Are they answering the questions that you have? There are sometimes, depending upon what your questions are and what your interests are, it could be that the topic that you're choosing doesn't have enough information yet, and you do need to put that into the equation. Your paper is a 10-page paper, and it's 10 pages of content. It does not include the cover page or the reference page, so you want to make sure that you are bringing substantial information into the conversation. I'm also looking that you have evenly dispersed information, which means each one of these sources, you have at least 10 to 15 things that you are pulling from each one of those resources. If you use one source primarily, it becomes a book report and less looking like a research paper, so be very mindful of that. As always, I'm really excited about where we're going, but I will tell you, and I will put this in one of the assignments, that if you are having to do a topic change, it has to be done this week. Now, when you do a topic change, I'm not only looking for the topic, but I'm also looking for the 6 sources that are going to support it. And what that means is as you are choosing that topic, do not just find sources and write them down. Actually look into them and make sure that it's varied. Not all the sources have the same information. You really want everything, that there's different information that you're able to bring to the table. Can you go over those 6 sources? Absolutely. But what I am looking at is for that core 6, that you have a good even spread of information in order to support that paper. I will tell you, if you can get 10 to 15 important quotes or facts from these information, 10 pages is not going to be a challenge. So trust me through the process. I've been doing this a while, but you got to do what I'm telling you to do in order to do that. So I am so excited about this week. I wanted to speak on the things that we've done Currently, probably, if I can get this one up and going, I'll be sending another one out that's really going to speak into this third week. Also, week 4, we have to have a proctored. So your quiz is actually going to be a proctored quiz, and which means that you are not going to be able to utilize your books. I will be submitting a link to you guys, so in order for you to get hooked up to that. You can do it one of 2 ways. For my students that are out of town, obviously you're going to be going through the internet. For those that are local, you would be able to actually go to the Midlothian campus or the Chester campus in order to take your proctored. So I will be giving that information out within the next couple of days. So I'm excited. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to walk through this with you. Have a blessed day.